Welcome to my channel. My name is Alex and I travel full-time with my cat and my FJ Cruiser. Sometimes we take the travel trailer with us, other times all we've got is our overlanding setup. Last week my mom and grandma came RVing with me and camping, and then my mom went home, so this week is just me and grandma. We last left off at me and my grandma leaving Tucson and then driving through the Tohono O'odham Indian Reservation. If I'm saying that incorrectly, I apologize. I've actually never heard anyone say the word before. I've only ever seen it in writing. So we stopped at a gas station inside the reservation. I prefer to stop here instead of the Texaco in the town Y, because there's usually a really long line in Y, which is the name of the town. So I stopped here instead. And then we drove past Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument and headed straight to the border because my grandma wanted to see what it was like. I did consider crossing, but this is not a good day for crossing the border. There was a line. So after that, we went back to camp, and my grandma got a second chance at getting the RV set up because she wasn't that good with the drill last time, but she did a pretty good job this time. Unfortunately, we started having issues again with the battery. This is when I realized that the battery was not the problem. Of course, when I was in Animas, New Mexico, I was plugged in, so I didn't have to run off battery. But then my battery started to die. Luckily, I had my Goal Zero fully charged, and so I was prepared for this situation. And this is actually the same thing that I had done when I first started having battery issues, or let's just say electrical problems in at Oregon Pipe when I was passing through on my way to get my mom and grandma from the airport. It was kind of hot that day, so Frank came into the RV and I decided to just let him stay, and eventually his dad realized he was missing.
His nose just a going.
Frank is smart. He just sat down. Dustin!
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt him.
They're meeting. I went in to get Shadow and he came in. Yes, Father!
Shadow has always seemed to really love dogs, but this was his first time spending time with one, so that was interesting. The following morning, I found my grandma washing stuff and trying to dry them in the RV, so I tried to explain to her I have a line that I can hang outside. So I took her out to show her how I dry my clothes using the line via the RV and the FJ Cruiser.
Yes. Massage pa ni Court. Alright. Here. Here. Put one and stretch across God. Can you reach my pet truck? Alright, stop.
I always forget I am the tall one in the family, so I did take it from my grandma and put up the line, and then she came and got the clothes that she had hung up in the bathroom so that we could take them off the hangers and actually hang them up on the line for them to dry. As you can see, it wasn't really a lot of stuff anyways. Usually I have my spin dryer, but I had left that in storage in Animas. I tried to talk my grandma into going hiking with me, but she was not having it. So Dustin and I decided to go hike by the old mine without her.
Oh, there is a bathtub in here.
Hey, you think these shorter back then or what?
They were.
What is this?
They were shorter.
Yeah, I know, but God, you got a limbo.
Hey, Frank. What if that breaks? Because that over there looks scratches.
It is a beautiful hike and I do recommend it. I'd been to Oregon Pipe quite a few times and this was my first time going this far. There's beautiful mountain views, but I will say that the border wall is kind of an eyesore and there is the potential for encountering illegal immigration. The very last time I went to Oregon Pipe, I did see Border Patrol picking up a few immigrants. I don't feel like any threat to my personal safety. I've lived in border towns, I've been to this park several times, but I find that the people who are paranoid and are threatened by the idea also seem to be the people who have like the worst stories of encounters with illegal immigration, whether by exaggeration or just like how they perceive the encounters based on their biases. But people like me who are not that concerned seem to be okay, so I would say that's the luck that I'm running with. Unfortunately, I didn't get to spend a lot of time with my grandma at Oregon Pipe. I did have to drive back to Tucson to take her to the airport, but I'm glad that I got to show her like a real camping experience away from the city, actually in the middle of nowhere and so close to Mexico, which is where I had lived for the past 6 months. So that was great. Even though she didn't want to do any of the outdoor stuff with us, I'm really glad that she came and was at least open enough to being in that environment and being in an RV and trying things differently. It was an amazing experience and I hope she does it again. People ask me all the time, how well does the FJ tow? So here I am going 75 miles per hour uphill and the RPMs were 3,000, and then on flat it was still 75 miles per hour and it was 2,000 RPMs. Hopefully that answers the question I get asked the most. So I was really glad to be back in New Mexico and to move on to the next phase of my plans. I mean, I was so excited about building the deck and building the dome and having a semi-permanent residence between trips. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, little did I know the drama that was going to await me at this development. I cannot discuss some of the things that happened there, but I do want to share what I can just to speak of my authentic experience and this chapter of my traveling and my adventures. So I will share a little bit about what Animus was like. I really did like the area and the people there were awesome. And Shadow will come camping with me again during a major heat wave because I had to clear out my storage unit in Vegas and I took him with me. So we'll get into all of that and more next time, and I'll see you then. Bye!